Hey everybody, this is Mr. Mathblog. This lesson is numerical patterns. This is lesson 9.5 in our textbook, and don't forget all your lessons can be found at mrmathblog.com. So let's go to that site real quick. If we go to mrmathblog.com, it'll look something like this, depending on your computer screen. And 5th grade is way over here. This summer I'm going to be uploading 6th grade, so it'll probably be right here. But here's 5th grade right there. So if we go to 5th grade and then scroll down, this is going to go right under 9.4. All right, let's get back to our lesson here. So here's our Common Core strand for our teachers, and then our question is, how can we identify a relationship between two numerical patterns here? So we're going to start with ice cream cones and cookies, okay, because I like ice cream and I like cookies, in case you haven't figured that out yet. So on the first week of school, Paul ate 2 ice cream cones and 6 cookies. If he ate the same number of ice cream cones and cookies each week for the next several weeks, how does the number of cones compare to the number of cookies from one week to the next? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the two rules. The two rules are he eats 2 ice cream cones and 6 cookies each week. Going to use those two rules in the problem to generate the first 4 terms, which means the first 4 weeks, okay, in the sequence for the number of cones and cookies, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is just keep, for the sequence for the number of cones is he eats 2 each week. So this plus 2 is how many he eats the next week, and then plus 2 is how many he eats the next week and the next week, okay? So down here is the total number of ice cream cones that he eats. So 2 plus 2 is going to give us 4. Let's slide that up real quick, you guys. So 2 plus 2 will equal 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. And finally, 6 plus 2 equals 8. All right, let's do that for the cookies, okay? Remember, the cookies, he eats 6 cookies a day. So for the first day, he eats 6 cookies. Eats 6 more, 6 more, 6 more. So 6 plus 6 is going to get us 12. Plus 6 is 18, plus 6 is 24. Okay, so we're going to write number pairs relating cones and cookies for each week. So this is the cones right here, and this is the cookies right here. So we're going to represent, so for this one, this is going to be 2, 6. So that's going to be the number pairs for the first week. He eats 2 cones and 6 cookies. Okay, so that's what goes in week 1. Okay, week 2, he ate 2 more and then 6 more, so he ate a total of 4 ice cream cones and 12 cookies. So this one's going to be 412. Okay, the next one's going to be this pair right here, 618, and then finally 824. Okay, so that's what we're going to put right there. All right, let's just slide that up. Okay, so for each number pair, compare the number of cones and the number of cookies. Okay, let's look at this number of cones and this number of cookies. So see how there's 4 more right there? Or you can think of another rule, it's times 3. So we got to see what's happening over here. Does it add 4 from here to here? No, because 4 plus 4 is 8. So how about 4 times 3? Yeah, that's 12. Let's see. 6 times 3 is 18. 8 times 3 is 24. So it looks like for each related number pair, the second number is 3 times as great as the first number. So our rule is going to be the number of cookies equals 3 times the number of cones. Okay, here's the cookies. It equals 3 times the number of cones. So from one week to the next, the number of cookies Paul ate is 3 times as many cones that he ate. Okay, yummy. All right, let's try another one here. So to make a flower bed, John uses 3 roses and 6 tulips for each row. What rule can we write to relate the number of roses to the number of tulips for any row? How many roses will John have after he completes 8 rows? Okay, so, well, let's set up a little table here. So the number of rows, now the question is asking how many roses, so we're going to be in this row right here, how many roses will he have completed after the 8th? So what we're going to do is there's going to be 0 roses in 0 columns, because if there isn't a row, this is how many rows there are right there. If there's no rows, there's no flowers, okay? But after 1 row right here, there's going to be 3 roses and 6 tulips right there, okay? So row 0, all right, so now I'm just following this pattern right here. For John uses 3 roses, so we're going to continue to add 3. So plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Here we're going to go for the tulips, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6 right there, okay? So there they are. We added 3 and then added 6 right there. Okay. So okay, now they're given this is 48 right there. They gave us that, and if you can just keep going with the tulips, we can keep going. Okay, this is row 4, so we just go up to row 8. We mentally go to row 5, which would be plus 6 is 30. Row 6 would be plus 6 again, 36. Row 7 would be plus 6, 36 plus 7 is 42, and then finally plus 6 more is 48. But they give that to us there, and then we got to develop a little hint right here. So to get from 48 to this guy right here, what kind of pattern do you see? Well, look at this one, 24 and 12. Can you see that this one is twice this one right here? Well, what if they give us this? If I multiplied that by 2, that would be 96. And I know that's not 96. This one is going to be half of whatever this one is right here. So we multiply by 1/2 or we divide it by 2, okay? So if we take 48 and divide it by 2, we'd get 24. If we did 48 times 1/2, that would also get us 24. Multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2 right there. So when we do that, we get 24 right there. Okay, let's answer the questions here. So write number pairs that relate the number of tulips to the number of roses. So we got to do the tulip numbers first to the rose numbers first. So this one says in row 1, the tulip number is 6, the roses number is, excuse me, 3, so we're going to put 6 comma 3. Okay, row 2, the tulips is 12 comma 6. Okay, and then the next one is 18:9. The next one is 24:12. All right, let's move that up right there. Okay, so what's the rule right here? Well, can you see? The number of tulips is twice the number of the roses right there. Okay, so the number of tulips in each row is 2 times the number of rows. And then here's a better method. Since we got to go all the way out to row 8, you guys, here's another way. The number of tulips is 6 times how many rows there are. Okay, or the number of roses is 3 times how many rows there are. Okay, notice this is 2 times this right here. So if let's go back to this this table right here. Okay, so here's row 4. If I multiplied that times 6 would tell me how many tulips. If I multiplied 4 times 3, that would tell me how many roses right there. So this little rule right here. So the number of tulips is 6 times the number of rows, and the number of roses is 3 times the number of rows. Okay, so after 8 rows, John is going to have how many roses planted? Okay, we're going to use this one right here. We're going to go 3 times the number of rows, 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, guys, I hope that makes sense, and take care.